What is up, members of the Barrio? It's John, and you may have heard that visiting New York City is very expensive, and it can be, but as a 6-year resident of the city, I'm gonna break down all the prices for you. If you're new here and want to keep up with all my travel vlogs and tips videos from around the world, please do subscribe and turn notifications on so you don't miss out on any new videos. So how expensive is New York City for a traveler? Well, why don't we start with accommodations, and if you are on the ultra budget side, you're probably going to be looking at a hostel somewhere in Uptown Manhattan. You can get a bed in a shared dorm room for between $40 to $50 a night. Now, one step up, and what I would recommend to any friend of mine visiting New York would be to try to find an Airbnb room in a shared apartment where the owner probably lives there at the same time, and you can get a room in Manhattan between $80 to $120 a night. And then the next step up, of course, would be a hotel. There are so many in Midtown Manhattan. It's gonna be tough to find anything under $100 a night. You're probably looking at least $150 a night or more on a hotel. And then if you wanna leave Manhattan and really save some money, if you're looking in Brooklyn, Queens, or in New Jersey, you're definitely gonna save money on lodging. Let's talk about food and drink, and the great irony about New York City is that it has some of the most expensive and some of the cheapest options in the world in one place. In fact, I made a video about living in New York City on just $10 a day for eating and drinking, and while I don't recommend you do it every day for your health, it was certainly a fun challenge. Let's start with going out to eat, and that can cost you anywhere from $1 for a pizza place to a $750 26-course meal. So there are just so many places in the middle there. Typically for myself, when I go out with friends, I'm going to be spending at least $20 to $30 after tax and tip on a meal, and this is not even talking about drinks. If you want to throw alcohol into the mix, that check could get up easily to $40 to $50 a person or more. And speaking of alcohol, just throwing out some numbers here, in my experience, average beer is about $6, average mixed drink $8, and for you cocktail snobs out there, we're gonna be pushing it to $12 to $15 for your favorite libation. What if you wanna save money and do your shopping at a supermarket? Well, I've got you covered there. I'm gonna be quoting you some prices from my local Morton Williams, which just happens to be one of the most expensive supermarkets in the entire city, and also the closest one to my apartment. Yeah, my luck. A loaf of bread will cost you $3.99, a half gallon of milk, $2.50, a carton of eggs, $2.50. Not awful, but these next prices might scare you a little bit. 1 pound of salmon, $16. I don't know what they're feeding those fish. And my favorite, right now, 1 avocado, $4. That's right, $4 for a stinking avocado. The cheapest bottles of wine I normally see are between $10 to $12, although that's a big change from Europe where you could get a €1 bottle of wine, although I don't recommend you do that because they are really, really bad. And if you're ever in a pinch for food, my best advice for you in New York City is to go to one of the many 24-hour delis. They're practically on every corner, and they have a wide variety of food selections, a lot of sandwiches, so definitely worth a look when you visit. Let's talk transportation, and one of these, a subway swipe, costs you just $2.75, and you can ride along the entire line with just one swipe. It's also 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In my opinion, that is one of the best values in the world for transportation, considering how expensive New York City is for many other things. Of course, walking is probably your best bet in Manhattan. You can walk from Midtown Manhattan to Greenwich Village in about 30 minutes or so. That same taxi ride would cost you about $12. Uber would be similar, and in my opinion, taxis and Ubers in New York are not that expensive compared to other cities I've actually been to for the same distances. What about activities in New York, and how expensive are those? Well, I could probably make 100 videos about things to do in New York City. I've actually made a lot already. They're all on my playlist. I do encourage you to go check them out. But the best thing to do in New York is just walk around, go soak in neighborhoods, the sights and sounds, that's all free. There's also about 100 museums in New York. Many of them have free days. Others of them are donation based. You could go check out Central Park, walk around there. If you want to rent a bike in Central Park, it's going to cost you about $15. The biggest draw in New York City is probably going to a Broadway show, and this is a wide spectrum of pricing. You could get Hamilton tickets for $200. You could find shows for as cheap as $5. If you want to go to the movies, one price at the Regal Union Square, $17.20 for a ticket. There is a reason I do not go to the movies much anymore. The bottom line is, as a tourist in New York, unless you want to cook all your own stuff or eat just fast food, you're gonna have to spend some money. Your best bet is to try to avoid staying just in the expensive areas of Manhattan and expand to other boroughs. Go explore different neighborhoods. I've covered a lot of this on my channel if you need some ideas. Do tell me in the comments how expensive is New York compared to where you're from. I'm curious. And certainly subscribe if you're new here. We've got tons of content coming out in the next couple of weeks, all from New York City. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.